Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom. My name is Swoop there and we are here in Red Sands National Paleo Reserve building a Spinosaurus habitat. I'm really excited about this one. It was quite fun to build. I'm going to talk a little bit about my process of building before I talk about the Spinosaurus because I haven't built for the Spinosaurus before. So I am going to do a few facts and throw in a few screenshots like I usually would for a new species that I'm building for, and then in future episodes, if I ever do build for the Spinosaurus again, I probably won't talk about them. I will more just pop a link into this video. So because I haven't built for them, that's what's happening. I decided for this build that I wanted to do an underwater viewing building, and it was a nightmare, to tell you the truth. To tell you the blatant truth, it was really quite difficult to build because I'm playing around with an unintentional bug, I believe, that's currently in the game, and I don't know how long it will be in the game for. It could be patched in the next patch for all I know, but it is, I'm sure the devs haven't intentionally given us the ability to create this. However, just played around with the bug that I found, or I didn't actually find it, I got it from Mrs. T-Rex, one of my friends, and she has a video on how you can kind of exploit that bug to make underwater viewing. Unfortunately, you can't look through the glass and see into the water, but I'm sure that is coming down the track in the game, and that is something that, well, I hope it's coming down the track in the game, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to having. I decided to pop this in. I thought it would be kind of fun, and then realised quite quickly that it is the habitat itself is far too small for the Spinosaurus. So there's no need to tell me it's too small because I know that it's too small. So we're just going to say that for the purposes of this park, they have this particular habitat. It was empty. They put the Spinosaurus in it and they're building a bigger habitat for it out the back, which, little Easter egg for you, is already being done. But this one is just its initial habitat, and then I will put another dinosaur in it down the track in the future, I suppose. I wanted to make it bigger, but once you kind of exploit that bug that's in the game and you get the water how you want it, there is no turning back, guys. You're kind of stuck with the water where it is. You try and put anything near it or around it in terms of terraforming, and it breaks it completely. So you just have to go with once you've got it how you want it, you just have to go with it. So that's what I decided to do. So you can see I'm just building the underwater viewing part now. There's a lift shaft, there are some bathrooms in this building, and I actually make like a really big outdoor area that kind of leads up to the Spinosaurus, and there are going to be some habitats and species around the back of it as well. So this part is just the initial stages of this little area of the park. I do end up putting in some signage and some chairs down there. I also have some stairs, and I make custom railing, things like that, just small little things to make it look a little bit better. It's also open air, so you can see I'm popping the roof on now, but I haven't kind of put any wall in between those little concrete bollards that are holding up the roof. I decided not to do that because I feel like in a desert park, even though it would be cooler down further, like under the ground where you'd be viewing, it still would be super hot. So you wouldn't want to have it enclosed, I suppose, unless you had air conditioning down there, I suppose, which is also valid. But I left it completely open so the airflow could kind of flow through the building. I don't really like the position of the building because it is directly opposite the entrance building. So when you are standing and looking at the Spinosaurus from the other viewing platform, which I build shortly, you can see this building that I'm building now, and it doesn't look that nice, which is a shame. And if I was to rebuild this habitat, I would build the viewing building that I'm building now on either the left or the right hand side of the habitat, so that then from the entrance building you actually couldn't see this. But hindsight is a beautiful thing, guys, and it is what it is. I have built it how I have built it, and you live and learn. So next time I build a habitat like this, I'll keep that in mind. Now I'm just going in to build the open air viewing area, or I guess where you'd come down from the entrance and you would pop in and walk along here and have a look at the Spinos from above. This part was quite fun to build, and I like the go of this type of viewing platform. I just think it's it looks good and it's high above, so you would get like quite a nice vantage point of the dinos in the exhibit, the habitat. I have built quite a big backstage area for the Spinosaurus, but I didn't include it in the speed build because the speed build was kind of already getting towards 15 minutes long, and I'm trying to keep my speed builds around 15 minutes, but I will take you through the backstage area and the kind of the little backstage area for the Spinos in the real-time walkthrough at the end. Okay, now comes time to have a little chat about the Spinosaurus themselves. Now, its name apparently means spine lizard, which I suppose makes sense. It lived in the late Cretaceous period, so around, I think it's like 94 to 99 million years ago, and there aren't actually any known complete skeletons, which is a shame. I think they've made 6 discoveries of the Spinosaurus, but none of the skeletons themselves have been completed, or complete in themselves. So they've kind of had to make a few educated guesses about the Spinosaurus. An interesting fact, actually, the initial discovery, or the first discovery of the Spinosaurus, they found some really good bones. Once again, it wasn't complete, but it was actually destroyed during the Second World War. So they only had pictures and drawings of these bones for quite some time before they found some more. The Spinosaurus, though, regardless of the small amount of bones that we do have, they are still able to say that the Spinosaurus was huge. Annoyingly, because once again, we know this habitat's going to be too small, but it's fine, guys. They were massive. They were bigger than the T-Rex, and it's now known to be one of the largest, if not the largest, I think, carnivorous dinosaur known currently. Its skull apparently grew to like roughly 6 feet, which is my height. So I'm quite tall, and that's as tall as me, and that's just its skull, 6 feet. And then its body grew to around 46 to 59 feet, and it was heavy, like 13 to 22 tons I was reading, that's big, guys, that is big. Initially, scientists thought that the Spino only lived on land, but it's now known that it spent a great deal of time in and around water. Although, in saying that, it's actually not super clear if it swam a lot or it just hung out around shorelines. There are some newer discoveries that suggest it did swim, like it had a flat tail that would have helped propel it along in the water, and it had quite long and strong toe bones that are similar to modern day shorebirds. So that suggests that the Spino had the ability to like wander about in muddy or silty soil or whatever. But we do know that it did like to eat fish, and it spent a good deal of time in, near, around water. Now, onto the Spino's back sail, which is the last thing I'll say about the Spinosaurus. Another contentious debate. Similarly to the Tyrannosaurus, no one can kind of really agree on what its back sail is for. Is it for balance? We don't know. Is it a display for mating? We're unsure. Is it thermoregulation, to keep it cool, to keep it warm? Once again, unknown. Could it just be fat deposits and it wasn't actually a sail, it was a bit more of a hump-like situation? Who knows? Those are the current debates going around. I'm obviously not going to speculate on that because I'm not a scientist, but I like the model that we have in Prehistoric Kingdom. I think it looks really nice. In this habitat, I end up putting in one of the amazing skins that I have farmed, for want of a better word, and then just one of the regular skins as well. I will take one out of this habitat after the real-time walkthrough, beg your pardon, and just have one in here because it is far too small for one, let alone two. And then down the track, we will relocate the Spinosaurus to a bigger facility in another area of the park. We are coming up on 10 minutes, I think, in the speed build, guys. The speed build itself is 14 minutes-ish long, so you've got 4 minutes of quiet to enjoy me building the habitat. I'm just finishing off putting in some of the plants, and then I will jump into the real-time walkthrough at the end and show you what I have done with the backstage area, as well as show you around the outside and the inside of the habitat itself. welcome on into the real-time walkthrough of the Spinosaurus habitat. So we head through the gates here, we are walking through the entrance building, which is yet to be finished, and then we will turn right here and just head straight on down. Excuse the awkward camera here for a moment. Alright, then we have this open air viewing first of all. So you kind of come on down from the entrance building. The Spino that I did not build is up there. That's in a previous episode. Actually, I believe I put in my entrance video, I put a link to this on the workshops to credit the person that built it. And then you would come along here and have a look at the Spinosaurus. So I've got 2 in at the moment, but I will be reducing it to 1 shortly. And then there is another facility we're going to be relocating them to soon. Now, this is a skin that is just readily available, and then the other skin here, I had to make many a Spinosaurus to actually get that one. They are quite happy in here, funnily enough, and if you stand here, you can't really see the other ugly building on the other side, so we might just stand here for a moment. You can see I've put a standoff barrier just here to prevent people from kind of touching or getting the glass all grubby, but I assume they would have people that would come along and actually clean the glass anyway. And then as you walk further along, you do have more screens that you can look at, and we'll just get another view of the habitat down this end. I'm going to put some rocks or maybe another garden bed down this end. I haven't decided. I'm actually also toying around with putting another path around the back here, but we'll decide on that later. So you can see down this end, it's a lot more of an uglier view because you can see this building, but it also, I think if you were a guest, you would kind of be intrigued as to what this building is and you'd want to go and discover it, so which we are going to do. So if we were a guest and we had just seen that, we would want to come this way, and then we'll turn straight down here. The Tyrannosaurus is down here to our left, and then I built sort of all of this mostly off camera because it was just taking too long in terms of the speed build. So we will just scoot past all of this and into the main entrance to the Spinosaurus underground viewing or underwater viewing. So you can get another view. I've got these implied seats here and the planters here and some places for people to come and sit in the shade. And then you also have another viewing area right here before you go down into the underwater viewing. So you can view the Spinos from this side as well. You've got some binoculars that you can look at them through, or you can just kind of stand here and have a good look at them. You would see people up here, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. And then you've got some vending machines. This is going to be a lift. I just need to put like a little lift pad here and make it look a little bit more lift-like, because at the moment it just looks like 2 doors. And then there are also some bathrooms in here as well. The back area here is actually going to be another habitat, which is already built, and there will also be another couple of habitats on this side as well. Let's head on down into the underwater viewing, which, just a fair warning, you actually can't see anything under the water because of the way that the bug I have exploited works, so it kind of just looks like that. But this is the building underneath. We've got some seating, we've got some signage for people to read, and then if we just kind of walk through the wall, suddenly we will have the view that you would have, like so. So at the moment there's no Spinos in the water, but you can see the grass and so on. And if we just kind of pop up here, there we go, we can see this one, and the other one must have gone into the backstage, which we will head to now. So we'll just head through the reeds and water here. They do swim in the water, which you would have seen in the thumbnail. One of them was swimming, and I can pop one in a minute and we can watch them swim. We're just going to follow this guy into the backstage area. So you can see I've put like a gate across where they could actually keep the Spinos in the back here, or they could separate them if they needed to for any reason. And then there is the backstage building back here. It's pretty simple, I won't lie about that, but we'll just wait for you to go through first, sir. Happy days. Good. Gosh, the model is actually so beautiful. Look at this tail and the way it moves while it walks. All right, through we go. And then this was kind of like the holding area for the Spinosaurus. You can see this one here is already lying underneath this shade structure. and then you can close off this gate and they could kind of both stay in here, or you could have them separate. Then if you will sort of jump above this building here, and you can see I've kind of got a tiered roof system, and we'll just jump through and back down here. All right, so the road that comes through, this is all backstage road. This is not, you can't sort of get through as a guest or anything, it would be blocked off. And then if you were delivering a dinosaur, this is kind of where you would put them in. There's a light there to say, you know, there's a dinosaur in here, it's unsafe to open this, blah, blah, blah. And then I just put in like some really crude garden beds and things. I feel like this part wouldn't really be like not well kept as like the guest facing parts, I suppose. And then I kind of put some little offices in this side, and then on this part, I thought, because I have some seating area for the staff on the other side of the park, but nothing on this side yet, I thought it'd be quite nice to give them something over here. So there's just a little lunch area, and then another entrance there as well. So very, very simple, nothing too extravagant. Didn't take me that long to build this part at all, as you can probably tell. And it's not super realistic yet because it hasn't got drains and so on, but we will put them in. And then there's a really big turnaround here because you would have a lot of trucks and things. I'm also going to look at putting in some delivery points for rocks and dirt in this area here, which I think would be a really good spot for it, because of how wide and big this area is. So that, my friends, is the Spinosaurus habitat. Let's just fly back over and see what they're getting up to. They're both, one of them's just about to go in the water there, so we'll just watch that one wandering through. Beautiful. We can put one in to swim. We might actually do that now. Let's just put him in, and then we can jump down in the water and see it swimming. And you can see through to the building from this side. You just can't see through the windows, I suppose, when you're inside the building. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. I'm actually really enjoying building back in PK. I know I've said it in almost every episode since I began, but I'm having so much fun. I really do appreciate your comments. I'm really enjoying chatting to you guys via your comments and getting to know you all and what you're interested in terms of Prehistoric Kingdom. Let me know down below if you would like to see a particular dinosaur in this desert park. I am jumping into Fekola Mountain Park in my next episode to build for the cave lion and use a lot of the new pieces, and I'm having so much fun back in Fekola. So who knows when we'll see our desert park again, but it will be coming, so feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see next. Thanks so much again, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.